All right, what's up, guys? First, I'm just gonna start off with this. If you have not seen Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, hop off the video. Hop off right now. There's gonna be spoilers in this one. We're going hard with it. All right, we're gonna talk about everything that went on with it. Leave now if you have not seen it. That's your warning. Okay, I'm gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Oh my fucking god, guys! This fucking movie did things to me I didn't think were fucking possible, right? So, personally for me, I'm one of those people who, when I watch something or play through something for the first time, I can't go through it a second time, right? Just because, like, I know everything about the story, it's not as interesting to me to watch it for, like, a second time or play something for a second time because I just already know everything and I've already been through it. And plus, I have a whole other, like, list of things that I have to watch and play. So I'd rather just kind of move on with that and keep going, essentially. But when I watched Across the Spider-Verse, something about it just really clicked with me, and it made me want to watch it again. Quite frankly, I did. So I recorded this video yesterday night, and it turns out my mic was dead, so I'm remaking it now, and I've already seen it for the second time. But in that video, I was like, "Yo." When I was making it, I was just like, you know what, screw it. I really need to watch the movie again. So after I finished the video, I clicked stop recording and I went to the Fandango website and set myself up to watch the movie again 10 minutes away from that time. So I sped out the house and I went to go watch it again, and it blew my mind for a second time. And let me tell you, watching it for a second time, I'm so glad that I did, because I missed a lot of things that I wouldn't have seen the first time around. And some people might have caught it. Some people, like me, I didn't catch that shit the first time. I was too focused on, like, just seeing the prettiness of everything and all that. And I just want to go through it again. I want to watch it on my OLED. I want it to come out already on, like, Blu-ray or something, so I can buy it and then be able to pause at those, like, certain moments where they have all these secret little cameos, these little Easter eggs, everything like that. But another thing that, like, really, like, popped off with me in terms of, like, the movie itself was the fact that how Miles, like, really just grew up, right, from the first movie. So this is coming off the first movie into the Spider-Verse, and essentially Miles kind of, he grows up. He gets a growth spurt, literally, and mentally he's pretty up there too. And he's kind of getting used to his powers now. He's become Spider-Man. He's the Spider-Man of this world, right? He's used to it. He's fighting bad guys. He's gotten through all of that. And I like this perfection that they've brought into it. And another thing too that I actually really quite enjoyed was the connection between Miles and Gwen, right? Like, I'm not too into the sappy stuff usually. But this didn't really feel sappy to me, because, like, it was like it felt like an actual thing, because between the two of them, I was talking to this about this with my friend, and essentially we felt like it wasn't like just kind of like some, like, haha teen drama stuff. It was like they were just legitimately having, like, a problem communicating what was going on with their lives, because, you know, they haven't seen each other in a year, and everything was just kind of complicated and all that. And not only that, but Gwen was kind of holding back the fact that she knew that he was an anomaly, and it was a whole thing, and we got to see it all play out, and it was very spectacular. Like, this whole movie was essentially co-lead, right? It was Gwen and Miles, so we had a story about both of the two. And let me tell you, oh my god, I know I'm kind of flipping around here. The ending with the plot twists were so good. So if you were paying attention in the movie, in the beginning, there was the number 42 plastered everywhere. So the first time I watched the movie, I was like, okay, 42, whatever. I mean, I should have noted that was an important thing. It took me a while for the first time, but for the second time, I knew what 42 was about. But I got to see where exactly the number 42 was plastered everywhere. So the movie starts off essentially with the number 42. There's a ball or something that comes up, and then there's even a moment in when Spider-Gwen, or Spider-Woman, as she's called, it's really funny. I'll get into that in a second. Essentially, Gwen is looking into the Spot's, like, little lair where he's recreating that, like, the little beam thingy, and giving himself more spots to be able to kind of go through more dimensions. He has the spider that bit Miles framed. And on the spider, there's literally the number 42 on it. And so you keep going through that. There's other like 42 monikers everywhere. But when the movie starts, you notice that Miles's world is Earth 1610, right? And then so when you go to the end, when Miles is escaping all these other Spider-Men that are coming up, there's a split second where the machine detects that he's going to world Earth 42, right? But in the beginning, we saw that it was Earth 1610. So for like a good minute, if you didn't catch that split second when they propped it up onto the screen, you wouldn't have like fully known that he was in a different Earth. And honestly, dude, there was so much about this movie that was heartbreaking too. Like, you just felt all these emotions. There was funny moments, there was sad moments, and there was moments where you're just like, come on, man. You know what I mean? It was like that. Like, one of the sad moments, I think, was when he was kind of spilling his heart out to his mom after he got home from all those other Spider-Man. He was like, Mom, you were fucking right. These motherfuckers were going to tell me I don't belong here. And let me tell you, I have another friend with an immigrant parent, right? Because we're kind of getting the immigrant parent kind of stuff. I think they did that stuff really well. My friend, they told me that their mom actually told them like something similar. Like sometimes some people might tell you like, hey, you don't belong here. But you know what? Fuck those people, right? It's fuck those people. They don't know who you are. They don't know what you're capable of. You know what you're capable of. You know what you can do. And Miles took that like speech to heart when he heard Miguel, like while he was beating his ass, of course. While Miguel was like beating his ass into his train, he was like, "You don't belong here, Spider-Man, Spider-Boy, kid, child, Miles." And you know what? Miles is like, you know what? Fuck this shit, boy. Fuck all you motherfuckers. All right. We're gonna do what's fucking right here. And dude, it was so good. I don't know. I want to watch it again. To be quite frank with you guys, I really want to watch it again. And we're gonna kind of go through the trailer over here, see what we can kind of see some stuff that you may or may not see. Because one thing that kind of sucked was that it was a surprise to me. I probably should have looked it up or something. Probably would have seen it, but this is a part one of a two-part movie. So we have Into the Spider-Verse, which is the first movie, and then we have Across the Spider-Verse, which is the one that just came out. But you kind of get hit with the cliffhanger here with the movie that's going to come out next year called Beyond the Spider-Verse. So it's kind of like the Infinity War Endgame stuff where they split it off, and then you have to wait a whole year for the next one to come out. So that means that they've already produced it, and they're probably like just putting up some finishing touches on it, or they're still kind of like they're pretty damn close to finishing the movie essentially, because if you're like a year away, that means you've already recorded stuff, you've already gotten the voice lines and everything done like that, and essentially, yeah, I don't know, man, maybe I'll get like another ticket. To be honest with you, I don't know if I can wait another fucking 3 months for like a damn Blu-ray to come out. But dude, there was so much great about this movie. I don't know, it just resonated a lot with me, right? And I know a lot of people who might resonate with it too. I've seen some people complain about the story on Twitter about how it's kind of like, but I think it's fine. I think it's just fucking great. One thing too, I also love what they did with Spot. Spot apparently in the comics is like a completely useless character. He's dumb. He has nothing to do with anything, and he's pretty much worthless, right? But in this movie, he kind of starts off that way, but then he's like, you know what? I'm not worthless, all right? He does the same thing that Miles does, essentially, but in a villainous way, which is pretty cool in my opinion. I like that. And they turned him into like this fucking beast of a fucking villain. He fucking can go through dimensions, and he's just getting more powerful as he keeps going, because he recreated the that like whatever that beam was in the Into the Spider-Verse one, and he walked himself into it and made himself more powerful. And I think that's so lit. I think it's so great, man. And screw it, man. Let's just kind of go into the trailer and see what we like over here, all right? All right, so we have our little trailer here from kinocheck.com. We're just kind of like going to go through it. We're not going to play it because we might get copyright striked. And we don't want that. We're just here to have fun, right? And so you can kind of see here, he's kind of going through it. He's being a little Spider-Man. He's catching stuff. And in this beginning scenes, he's finding Spot, and his parents are over here with the guidance counselor about how he's going to go to college. And one thing that I really like Okay, his mom is hot as fuck. Let's just be real, man. She's fucking a. If if something happens to the police captain here, Rio, just know I'm here for you, baby. Oh God. Okay, I'll stop. That was bad. I'm sorry. But moving on, you can see like they're still at the guidance counselor, and this is Spot right here. He's like the semi main villain in this one. To be honest, Miguel is kind of, in my opinion, he's a little bit of an anti-hero. He's not a villain in that sense, but he's a complete dick, and we fucking love that about him. He's a dick because he needs to be. He knows what's going to happen if these anomalies kind of run around. He's seen it with firsthand. Though one thing I will say too, I'm not sure about the anomaly stuff. I think they kind of like gave away how they're supposed to fix this. In terms of the anomaly exactly. Like with Gwen Stacy, she had a moment where she found out her dad wasn't gonna be the police captain, and that in itself is an anti-canon event because with Spider-Man, your loved one's supposed to die, or the police captain at the very least that you're close with. He doesn't die though, and the world immediately doesn't go to shit after that anti-canon event essentially happened, like it did in the Indian version, right? In Mumbatan, I think they called it. The second like that the police chief was saved and everyone was like happy, after like a couple minutes, all of a sudden you see like a big ass hole appear in the middle of the fucking universe. And I think that the way that they're probably gonna combat this in Beyond the Spider-Verse is essentially convince that person to not have to be the Spider Chief. And you won't have to go through it, essentially, and you won't create a hole in the universe. And another thing is, too, Miles, if he's an anomaly, why isn't he creating a hole in his own multiverse, right? Or not his own multiverse, in his own universe? Because when the anomaly happens, it's supposed to happen in that universe where shit goes awry. But it's instead only in the multiverse where, like, that's how, like, the Vulture kind of came through and essentially all that stuff. There's holes in the multiverse, not just his own universe, is what I'm trying to say, essentially. But yeah, let's keep going. That's Spot right there. Essentially, he's kind of like useless. He's kind of just trying to rob an ATM store, and he completely fails at it. And it's so funny because he's like, Spider-Man, it's you, finally. One thing, too, is I love his actual character because they connected it to the first one. I really want to know if they did this on accident, like, or if they were planning this from the complete beginning when they made Into the Spider-Verse. But this guy... he's the bagel dude. He's the guy who Miles threw the bagel at, and essentially he turned him into this character, which is how he explains stuff later. And I just want to know if that was like an intentional thing when they made Into the Spider-Verse, or they were just like kind of like after the thought, they're like, you know what, let's just make him Spot, right? He could be it. And so like you can see he's like finding people there, little funny moments, little texting stuffs. Yeah, moving forward, you can see that he eventually goes to meet Gwen. That's pretty lit, and there's a whole bunch of Spider-Man cameos. God damn it! When I was in the theater, every time there was a video game reference, there was this little kid that would just scream off the top of his head, like he had no chat. Everyone else was just quiet. He was just going, like he was a straight on Spartan whenever that stuff came out. And I was like, all right, bro, hey, we're all excited. Don't worry. Jessica Drew's in here. She's fucking lit as fuck. God, Miguel O'Hara, my man. There was a scene of him. He was completely cheeked up. Oh, wow. Wow. Hold on, let me see if I can find a clip of that one. Okay, so this is a meme, of course. Let's go through this one real quick. It's like, leave me alone. That's the Kira meme. And here we are. He is completely cheeked the fuck up. Look at his ass. Good Lord. They had him on something else. This man is built different. Let's say that's a bubble that I never want popped. All right, that's all I'm saying here. I don't know if you guys can agree, but Miguel O'Hara, he's got more cake than a bakery. All right, he's absolutely does. Look at him. Just look at this beauty. Okay, going back to the trailer, we can see there's a whole bunch of stuff popping off, and Miles, he gets such an upgrade with this character. He's older now. He's a little more serious. This guy in the back over here, he's also crazy as fuck. We fucking love him, Hobie. Hobie's this anarchist, and he's kind of like the main contributor to Miles kind of finally like escaping all these Spider-Man. He teaches them use the palm, not just the fingertips. And when you see that, when you see the movie, you'll understand. If you haven't, I don't know why you're watching this, but hey, use the palm, not the fingertips. I love Hobie. Hobie's a real one. The only thing I kind of like didn't like about his character is that they were kind of like implying like, hey, did Hobie and Gwen sleep with each other? I felt like that was kind of unnecessary. It is what it is, though. It was a little stupid, but other than that, I thought the movie was pretty fucking perfect, right? We get Mayday. Mayday was Peter B. Parker's daughter now. They have a daughter, so let's go. W. And you can see here he's finding Spot more. And he's kind of... It's Miles just finding his way through, like, he's finding his place in the world, essentially. And it's not with these guys who hate him. And you can see here, this is the moment when he realized he was an anomaly. And he beats the fuck up out of Miguel O'Hara. He outsmarts him. He outwits all these other Spider-Men. And he has his moments, right? And it pops off. And let me tell you right now, the ending was fucking phenomenal, man. We're met with the Prowler. And the Prowler is not who you think it is. It's not Uncle Aaron, but Uncle Aaron is there. But the Prowler in that world is Miles Morales. So instead of becoming the Spider-Man, essentially, because that spider was transferred over to the real Miles's world, since there was no spider to bite him, he turns into a criminal. And he takes up the life of the Prowler, essentially. It's pretty crazy. So now we're going to get a little Spider-Man versus the Prowler action, too. So let's fucking go. But yeah, honestly, that seems about it. Let me just say right now, guys, if you guys haven't seen this movie, go watch the movie. It's fucking phenomenal. We fucking love it. There's a hype going on around it, and it fucking deserves all that. I'm gonna be real with you guys. But yeah, I might go watch it again. This isn't gonna be the last time I watch it. That's for sure, at least for me. But hey, if you guys like what you saw, drop a like. If you guys dislike, drop a dislike. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. Go watch Across the Spider-Verse, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.